Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's talk about the pros and cons of living in Sacramento. In just a minute, I'm going to break down the 5 good reasons that maybe you shouldn't move to Sacramento. And then I'm going to give 5 good reasons why maybe you should move to Sacramento. So let's get into it, talk about all of it, and we'll go from there right after this. All right, some of the cons of why you wouldn't want to move to Sacramento. Let's start out with the weather. It's hot. It's dry in the summer. We have pretty mild winters. Sometimes they're wet. This winter has been one of the wettest we've had in a long time because we've been in drought for the last 4 or 5 years. But this year we keep getting at what they call an atmospheric river. Can't hardly say that. But they just keep coming in waves and waves and waves. It was something that was known as the Pineapple Express years ago. But it's just constant every 2 to 3 days, major rainstorms. Tahoe and the Sierras, which just east of us, have gotten record snowfalls. There's some of the most massive snowfalls you've ever seen. If you look at some of the Instagram photos on Instagram, just Google Tahoe snowfall, and you're going to see some of the greatest snow you've ever seen in your life. I mean, I'm talking, 15, 20 feet deep. It's so deep that some of the ski resorts have even had to shut down because the snow's piled up so high, the ski lifts are buried in the snow, under snow. It's pretty amazing. So I think we've broken the drought. We're going to have plenty of water this year. But yeah, most of the time, the way the summer is here is it's very hot. I'm talking, 110, 115 degrees at sometimes. During the wintertime, it's mild. So I haven't seen a freeze yet. We've gotten down to 32, but nothing hard. No hard freezes. But California itself basically works on a short period of time that you get rain, and then during the fall and the winter you get a little bit of rain, and then the rest of the summer you get no rain at all. So you don't see hardly any rain or anything happening. Yeah, sorry about that. Amazon dropped off a package, so the dogs are barking. Traffic. Sacramento is the capital city and has a growing population, which means traffic can be challenging at times during peak hours. If you're not a fan of heavy traffic, well, maybe you want to look out, further away from Sacramento. But it's nothing like LA or Sacramento gets. It's still mild compared to there. And as a major city, which Sacramento is, it's can get heavy traffic at night, in the afternoons and the mornings, but the rest of the time it's pretty easy. Cost of living. Sacramento is more affordable, or maybe more affordable than most major cities in California. It's nothing like LA again and San Francisco that you're thinking about, but it can still get average home price is $500,000 or so. It's not the multi-million-dollar minimum that you can get into Los Angeles, where a 2-bedroom shack can cost you $750,000. But it can get kind of pricey to other parts of the country. But as far as California goes, it's still a great place to live, and it's still one of the cheaper places to live. Housing, transportation, groceries, they can all be expensive. It may not be ideal for those if you're on a really tight budget. Most people in Sacramento that are doing okay are making $100,000 or more a year. If you're in the $45,000, $50,000 range, it's probably not the place you want to live. In fact, California is probably not the place you want to live. Depending on what type of industry you're in, there might be limited job opportunities. Sacramento has a growing economy, and there's a lot of job opportunities here. And I mean a lot. The state is one of the major employers here, and it's if you live here and you work for the state, you got one of the best benefit programs in the world. You get decent pay, And there's a lot of tech industry here. There's a lot of call center jobs, things like that. So there is a lot of job opportunities here, but it depends on the industry. If it's not an industry that you're in, there's not a whole lot of heavy industry here. So if heavy industry type of thing is what you're experienced in and stuff and what you want to be in, then Sacramento might not be the place for you to come. But other than that, it's all right. Crime rates. Well, crime rates in Sacramento has been declining. It's still important to research and do the crime rate in the neighborhoods that you want to move into. Like every city, some areas have a higher crime rate than others. So, I encourage you before you want to move to Sacramento to go to the county sheriff's office or website of the Sacramento County Sheriff and kind of go over some of the area districts and stuff like that and look at the different crime rates in the areas and see, make sure it's an area that you want to live into. And that's something that you want to consider. Okay, so let's talk about the pros now. Funny enough, we just talked about a living condition. One of the major reasons to move to Sacramento is the affordable cost of living compared to other major cities in California. Sacramento offers a more affordable cost of living for housing, food, entertainment. A lot of it is reasonably priced, and there's a lot of free things to do for entertainment. There's a lot of hiking. You've got the American River that runs through the middle of the city. So there's a lot of water sports. You've got Folsom Lake. There's a lot of swimming, boating, and things like that there. It doesn't cost you a lot of money to get into. So, if you're into kayaking and stuff like that, if you're into hiking, it's a great place to live. Again, the weather. Sacramento has what's called a Mediterranean climate. As I said, it's very hot and dry during the summertime and wet in the wintertime and the fall. But if you love sunshine and blue skies, then you'll enjoy about 265 days of sun in Sacramento. That's what the average sun days are in Sacramento. So, if you're a sun lover and outdoor enthusiast, well, it's a great place to be. Job market, again, Sacramento is home to several major employers, including the state government, healthcare industry, and education institutions, all of it with a growing economy, and this has got a low unemployment rate. And there's plenty of job opportunities for people of all skill levels, except, like I said, if you're in the heavy industry and you're looking for jobs like that, there's not a lot of that, but there is, if you're into education, you're into healthcare, you do things for the state government and stuff like that, there's a lot of job opportunities here. There's even a lot of tech industry and call center jobs. Culture attractions. Sacramento is a rich history of culture, and there's plenty of attractions. There's a lot of museums. We've got the old Sacramento district. You got the California State Capitol Museum, Cocker Art Museum, which has free days. They just opened up a new history museum, which has got a big sky dome type of IMAX theater, and they're showing some great movies and stuff there in IMAX format. So yeah, there's a lot to do here. And there's a lot of good concerts that come through. We have right in the middle of what the area called Downtown Commons, we've got the Golden One Center where the Sacramento Kings play basketball. But we also get a lot of concerts, major concerts. Carrie Underwood just left last night. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and there's always concerts. There's smaller concerts in other venues and stuff like that downtown, which brings in some of the smaller, lesser known bands, but the major bands make it too. So you're in a perfect area to see concerts and stuff like that if that's what you're into. And I guess probably the number one reason for Sacramento is the proximity. It's kind of sitting in what I call the Goldilocks zone. We're right in between the beach and the mountains. So, whatever you want, you got. If you want to go to the beaches and the ocean, and that's your cup of tea, then, get on I-80, head west. In about an hour, hour and a half, you'll be there. You'll be sitting on the beach. Close enough to get on Highway 101 and take a great coastal drive down. See some of the most beautiful sights you'll ever see in your life. Go north on 101 and go up and see the big redwoods and stuff like that. It's just, we're sitting in the Goldilocks zones for all of it. If you're in Sacramento and you want to go snow skiing, hey, again, get on I-80, head east. And pretty soon you'll be sitting up in the Sierras. You'll be up at Donner. You'll be at Lake Tahoe. You'll be seeing some of the most beautiful mountains you've ever seen in your life. Beautiful trees, high mountains, deep snow. As I said, this year we've gotten more snow than we might know what to do with. But, some of the best skiing in the world is up there. So if you're into snow skiing, snowboarding, things like that, well, again, you're in the Goldilocks zone for it. The dining options, world-class dining, farm to fork capital of the world, because we're sitting in the valley where we grow most of the food. And we truck it in fresh, and got restaurants all around that make some of the best food in the world. So yeah, those are some of the 5 reasons you shouldn't come to Sacramento, and some of the pro reasons you should come to Sacramento. Overall, I think Sacramento is a great place to be. I have been here for 7 years now. I was born and raised in Texas, Dallas, Texas, so I'm familiar with that area very well. And I would like to say that I got here on my own volition, but my wife drug me here screaming all the way. But I got here, and once I got here and got to know the people, got to know the city, and got to know everything about it, I just fell in love with it. I love it here, and it's now home. So yeah, if you want to move to Sacramento, this is a great place to be. And if there's any advice I can give you, anything you'd like to know about Sacramento, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be glad to give you any advice I can. Thanks for listening, and thanks for coming by. And if you want more information, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that you get notified anytime I put up a new video, because I will be putting them up about once a week or so, going over a little bit more. I'm going to just recently drove some of the streets in some of the better neighborhoods, and I'm going to be putting up videos of street drives and kind of show you what the neighborhoods look like, and so you can get an idea of what it is like living here. Again, we are called the City of Trees, and we have massive amounts of trees, and it's a beautiful city to be in. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you subscribe, and I really, really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot if you do. Thank you.